Hey, what is up, my friends, foes, members of the Omni Council? Daimien Kamiya here, Omni King, and it's, it's been a journey going through Crosscode, and what an experience it was, and I enjoyed every second of that game, even the ones that made me rage uncontrollably. But here we are at the second game, the second primary slot game on stream. Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, and I am using a mod called Struggle for Freedom. The mod comes with it's mostly a rebalancing mod. It removes a lot of overpowered crap and increases a lot of usability of other useless stuff. It's a very, very good rebalancing mod. And I plan to step by step, as best I can, go through the differences between the original PlayStation 2 game, the little I know about the International Zodiac Job game, which was a remaster of the PlayStation 2 game, the Zodiac Age base game, and what the mod does. To start off the bat, the mod allows you to pick between 4 different options when you install it. To keep the license boards the way they are, I'll get to the license boards a bit later, but to get the license boards the way they are as of the Zodiac Age, to rebalance them the way the mod creator thinks they would be beneficially rebalanced within the Zodiac Age's mechanics, to put them back to their original PlayStation 2 version where everyone can do everything, or to do the Struggle for Freedom system, which is basically a story-based mod where the Espers outside of one particular Esper, Zodiac, all the characters are given 3 Espers each, and they're given 2 Espers each. Sorry, and those Espers have now been changed to benefit on those characters, and that change is permanent. I don't use Espers though, so I won't really be talking too much about them. But he makes the mods more story-based, and you can choose to either follow the license board linearly or non-linearly. But I'm going to be playing with the standard Zodiac Age board. I already have my class selection pre-done. I hope. Which one is it? I went through a lot of changes, and I have like six or 7 sheets of paper right now that all have the different classes on them. I think it's this one. Let me see something for a second here. I don't know if this... Man. I love how the D-pad works, but not the A button. What the hell? Okay. Why did the B button work? What is going on here? I'm restarting my controller, 1 second. I'm going to switch over to the game, though. Sorry about that. Game audio might be loud. I will try to adjust it as need be. It's very loud for me. I had to turn it to 10%. On my end. Not in OBS, but on my end. Oh! Okay, 1 sec. Sometimes the problem is simply I just launched the game before I turned on the controller. Yay, I have to adjust the volume again for myself because this game is really stupid in that regard. There we go. Am I gonna have to resync this? There we go. Why does B do A? There we go. What a weird system. I imagine I probably had to change that on my original playthrough as well. Alright, vibration on, all this stuff on. Speed mode multiplayer. I will only be using speed mode. I don't care what anyone else wants to say about that. A game can be painfully slow without speed mode. And that's an additional thing. So the original PlayStation 2 did not have speed mode. The Zodiac, the international job PlayStation 2 re-release, Japan only re-release, only had ×2. Zodiac Age added a ×4. And dear God, does it make a difference. So let's start the game. Now, I'm going to get bored out of my mind because I actually have to watch the cutscenes in the beginning of a Final Fantasy game. So let's enjoy the next 2 hours of our lives. I normally skip these. I enjoy the gameplay, not exactly the story. There could be improvements done to the story. For sure. At least I don't have to read like crosscode, so I can just sit back and relax.
In the name of the Father, and in the presence of these holy relics, I hereby pronounce you man and wife from this time forth. May the blessings of the gods light your path for all eternity. Far on.
Both land and air, our kingdom will stand little...
Nabudis has fallen.
Impossible!
My father? I know not. I am sorry.
If Nabudis has indeed fallen, it is only a matter of time before they reach the borders of Dalmasca. There is nothing to halt their advance.
Secure Nalbina with all haste.
I will go.
And I will go at his side.
That's an interesting transition, I have to say. That's not good.
Pailing's fallen! Then it's over! For my father. For my father! Lord Raslo!
Oh. I didn't remember where that hit him. I knew it hit him in the chest, but that hit him like right below the throat. No, he's gone. There's no surviving an arrow shot like that.
Blessings of the Great Father descend, and guide your bodies return to the earth.
He goes from wearing white to black in like 5 minutes.
Great Father, guide your spirits return to the Mother of all. There you shall find peace. Pharaoh.
All honesty, that intro really didn't give you much knowledge of the plot.
Was but one of many tragedies to befall the kingdom of Dalmasca. The air of hope that had surrounded Her Royal Highness Princess Asha's wedding was now quite lost. Dalmasca had been set adrift at the mercy of history's restless tides. At this time, two great empires struggled for dominion over Ivalice. Arcadia in the east, Rosaria, the west. The invasion of the Kingdom of Nabradia was Arcadia's first step in its westward march. With Lord Rasla's beloved homeland consumed by the hellfires of war, it seemed clear that Arcadia would soon mete out a like fate to Dalmasca. The fall of the fortress at Nalbina told the destruction of the greater part of Dalmasca's forces. A counterattack was mounted by the order of the Knights of Dalmasca, ever brave and faithful. But against the martial might of the Arcadian armies, they stood little chance of victory. Indeed, their defeat was to be absolute. Soon thereafter, Arcadia came forward, offering terms of peace, or, as one might rather put it, terms of Dalmasca's surrender. Lord Ramenos, King of Dalmasca, and my dear friend, had no choice but to accept these terms. It was, thus, only with reluctance that he set out for Nalbina Fortress, now under Arcadian occupation, to affix his seal to the Emperor's Treaty of Peace. The king had scarce departed his royal city of Rabanasta when the remnants of the Order made their return, and not a moment too soon, for a terrible revelation awaited them. The treaty would be signed with steel and writ in royal blood.
You there? Can you hear me?
It's as I feared. They're slowing us down.
Do not say that. Not all of us are here for love of battle. He fights to defend his homeland. Your name?
Rex, sir. My name's Rex.
Good. Rex. You bore a few cuts, but you are still whole. Well, can you stand?
I didn't realize Vossler was
Think you
here.
can fight?
I'm fine, sir.
Vossler's the guy with red hair or black hair.
How old are you, Rex?
17, sir.
Young. Family?
My brother is all I have left, sir. He's 2 years younger than I, living in Rabanastre.
So young. You're barely old enough to be a man. You shouldn't be forced to wield a sword.
No, sir. I want to fight. For my homeland. And for my parents.
It's time, Bosch. Save the discussion for later. We must reach the king before they act, or all our efforts will be in vain.
I'm aware of the situation.
We found them! Over there!
Bossler, go ahead. I will handle this rabble.
Godspeed.
I want that sword that one-shots all these enemies, because that won't happen in the game.
Steady, Rex. Keep your wits about you and you'll make it. We move!
Alright, so now this is the tutorial where he just goes over the controls, so I just gotta do the things he says. Well, anything that has to do with control, it will be in this non-vocalized dialogue boxes. Use L to move, Rex. Walk or run with L. Use this depending on your situation. You can walk, yes. Come stand before me. So I'm not going to turn the modifier on just yet. Just so we can get a understanding the basics of the game. Do you see the marker above my head? That's a talk icon. You can talk to any character showing one of these. To talk to someone, approach them and press A. Try talking to your friend by the gate. Life is worth too much to throw away, Rex. Do what you can, but don't try to be a hero. Save the hero stories for your brother once we're back in Rabanastre. Listen to the captain and we'll get through this. We'll enter the fortress through the gate. We must go. See the marker above your head? That's called an action icon. One of these will appear when you approach a door, a switch, an item, or the like. To learn more about what you found, walk closer to the icon and the icon will change. Then press A. Now try opening the gate. I'm just looking for something here. Oh, one sec. There's the, because of the extent that this mod goes to, it comes with a lot of documentation on top of things. But to prevent myself from having to log in and out constantly. Constantly. Log in. What are you doing? I just want to quickly download the files onto my laptop so I can, let's go to desktop. Like, when I say, there's 2 PDF files, I think 2 Excel files, 3 Windows document files. There's like a lot, and they all explain various ways the mod changed the game around. The 2 PDFs are, one of the PDFs is literally the change up to chests, and he changed a lot of the chests. Oh god, do I not have 7-zip on this thing? I have to say that's kind of embarrassing. Alright, I'm gonna pin that. Alright. Okay, we're all good. I should be able to open these. I know I don't have, or no, I think I do have from college. No, wait, no, this is a different laptop. Oh, well, it still opens. View only. I don't need to change anything anyways. Alright. So we are in good position. I can look up everything I need. Yeah, there's 5 Word documents, 2 text documents, 2 PDFs, and 3 Excel sheets. That just for the changes of this mod. Now we won't need all of that stuff at all. Like one of the text documents is literally just job or the license stuff. Here's a text document that literally just goes over unique hidden effects of certain weapons, though, too. Alright. Anyways. One thing, the reason why I remembered I wanted to do this, though, is because I believe he made changes to Rex. Spoiler alert, Rex is not the main character of this game, even though I think that would have been a much better decision. Does that feature actually not work? Oh my god. Can't even use Control F. Okay. I don't know if Rex got changed then. Stay focused on the foes before you Rex, and I will watch Real Word. Alright, time for the most painful part of the gameplay. God. The beginning of this game is so painful because the best part of the game is combat. And you don't get full control of the combat until pretty deep into the game. You can open the party menu by pressing Y. In the party menu, you can examine equipment and inventory. No need to do that. I do believe, though, that the mod gives Rex more spells and items than he initially would have. That red line is a hostile line target. Take heed. You're being targeted. When a foe targets you, the red line... Red! Boy, has it been a while. I haven't seen you in a long time. How have you been? When you target a foe, the line is blue. If you see a red line, look for foes at once. If they are not readily apparent, use R to look around. When you found them, press A to open the battle menu. Once you selected attack and targeted a foe, close distance using L, you'll automatically attack until the foe is defeated. You can change targets or actions at any time. If your HP falls, press A, select items from the battle menu, and use a potion. After using an item, you will automatically resume your previous actions. There is no need to input your commands again. You can do it, Rex. Show me. Okay, battle menu time. There we go. So this, we will be moving at this speed for the whole game.
Captain?
I've been pretty okay. I completed Crosscode finally, so I'm just now starting my next primary playthrough, Final Fantasy XII modded. You can have good and bad luck in this fight. I've left this fight with like 2 guys standing. Like, well, like me, Bosch, and one other guy. This is, showing something for later in the game. Oh, can't wait until the primary combat system gets introduced. There is no simple way through the fortress. The minimap top right of your screen may not be enough to gain your bearings. Should you lose your way, consult your location map with the back button. This will bring forward the map of the fortress we gave you before we set out. If you still find yourself at a loss, press LS will allow you to view the location map as you move. Navigate your way through it as you see fit. Left stick.
Vossler! Where are you?
What if Captain Ivalice has fallen?
Don't talk such nonsense. Vossler's laughed in the face of death far too many times for him to stop now. Men like him don't die in places like this. In case to reach the king, we will take him to safety.
Is His Majesty unharmed?
He'll agree to an unconditional surrender. They wouldn't dare touch him until the wax on his seal is dry.
But if we arrive after he signed the treaty...
Wait. Quickly, Rex.
So no, I wouldn't say I'm a huge, like, I've only played a few of the games. I've played 12, I played 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns. So I've played the Lightning Saga. That's pretty much it for Final Fantasy that I've played. The games are fun. You know, 13 had its hit and misses, but I am just a huge fan of 12 because of the combat mechanic. The way the game plays is what makes me a huge fan of this game. Not necessarily the fact that it's Final Fantasy, but like if they made a game just like this that wasn't Final Fantasy, I would love it just as much. There are several enemy soldiers beyond this point. However, Rex, there is no need to destroy them all. Sometimes it's necessary to escape. The RT command can allow you to abandon the fight with an enemy and run away. Escaping from a pointless battle is nothing to be ashamed about. Guess what we're doing? So all that does is it means you just don't take out your weapon and you move at full speed. Alright, save crystal. This is a save crystal, Rex. You can save your progress by approaching a save crystal and pressing A. Touch one of these crystals will fully restore your HP and MP. Though you will gradually recover MP as you move about, it can take time. Do not miss this opportunity to refresh yourselves and your allies. There's more I would tell you, but we've no time. Heed the lessons of the battlefield and you will do well. Come, we must reach His Majesty before it's too late. Alright, which one do I pick? It's been okay. You know, like I don't really have any complaints for sure. I said in my last stream though that I'm gonna try an audition for both. To be perfectly honest, any of the numbered games are completely unrelated to each other. So there's no reason why you can't just start from anywhere. In all honesty, just pick one and play. I do plan to audition for the recent auditions of both Nijisaji and Hololive. They're both Nijisaji open for mixed gender auditions, and Hololive open for male. I'm just gonna shoot my shot. I doubt I'll get in, and if I don't, well, you know, I'm already here. And if I do, we'll see where it goes from there. But you know, I can't enter if I can't win if I don't enter, right? And we'll see where that goes. I feel like if I had to pick between the two, I'd probably pick Nijisaji over Hololive, but I'm not gonna turn down Hololive if they're the only one that picks, you know, gets me. But I feel like I have a better shot with Nijisaji anyways.
Sir, we have little time. You must go to the king. I'll handle these.
As much as I don't care about the cutscenes, I don't really completely want to interrupt them. Alright, this is the fun part. So there's tons of ways I can manage this. But because there's no gambit system, it's painful. So I'm just going to protect, and then I'm going to attack. And when I get low on health, I will just potion. So first things first, what the mod does is it makes enemies stronger. They do more damage, and they take more damage. They have more health, basically. Does it specifically say, like, what the, actual change? I forgot what the, if it says what the guy's documents say what the actual changes were, but I think it's, like, the enemies have, like, 50%, or it's, like, 20% more health and deal 50% more damage, or one of the two. Yeah, well, I'm going to be linking the channel for sure. But I don't think I'm going to audition as Daimien. I'm going to audition as, like, different characters. Just because Damien's very much a portrayal of myself. And I had a lot of plans behind the channel. And I wanted the main foil, myself, to be kind of the flat line. And let other circumstances around me be crazy. But I need to be able to sell the fact that I can play a character. And playing myself is not playing a character. So what I'm probably going to do is pick other members of the Omni Kingdom and play them. Oh no.
done?
The king intended all along to sell Damaska to the Empire. His Majesty was a traitor.
I hear it now.
Captain,
If that's the case, like, I doubt it. I severely doubt it. I don't think I'm that good. If I did, though, I'd probably still pick Nijisaji. I get more pull with Hololive, but I like the environment of Nijisaji better.
Well, so much for peaceful negotiations.
We'll never surrender to you. We are not cattle to be sold by a traitor king.
But the war is over, my dear captain. You have lost. Dalmasca is the property of the Empire now. And think, we intended to let you keep some of your sovereignty, out of respect. But now you've gone and ruined that. Haven't you, Captain?
We will never bow to you.
And the people of Dalmasca will hate you for it. Take the captain away.
Off you go.
Just the environment. Like, recently I've been watching them, and, like, they're just, like, when I watch them stream, it's just, like, very, they feel very free and chaotic, and, like, friendly and chaotic, and Hololive just seems so constrained. I don't know why. It's just, like...
Pretenses of peace left by the wayside. The Arcadian forces resume.
I think it also has to come down to, like, the idol culture, too. Like, Hololive is built as an idol company, so the male talent isn't really promoted nearly as... Like, they promote the what sells first, which is the female talents, and then you got the males. And the male talent, like, there potentially could be backlash by collabing. While in Nijisaji, they don't care, right? Like, you can collab with whoever you want. No one cares, right? So I think that, like, that's why. Like, I got favorite talent in both companies either way, so... Yeah, well, Nijisaji has rules too. It's just, I think they're more apparent with Hololive.
That advanced toward Rabanasta. Dalmasca's doom had been decided. To make resistance would serve no end. With this foremost in my thoughts, I to the people of Dalmasca. Sons and daughters of Dalmasca, I bid you lay down your arms.
Well, yeah, at least on the Japanese side it does. Now, granted, there's nothing saying they can't, and a lot of the Holostars have commented that they're nervous. They're kind of nervous talking. They feel themselves beneath the females, so they don't feel like they should be interacting. Some of them, anyways. Well, a lot of the females have just commented that they're shy around guys, so that's why they don't do it. But there's only Japanese branch of Holostars, so unless you speak Japanese, you can't collab with them anyways, right? So right? And to be honest, the views also speak for themselves. Callie, for example, Callie would get millions of views on all of her songs. And then she did that one song collab with Rika. And boom, like 1/5 the views. Just because there's a guy in it, it's now suddenly probably one of her least popular songs. Right? So I think there is some form of stigma. Like, to me, I never felt like Hololive promoted the stars that well. And they're starting to do that more now. But Nijisaji never had that issue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, I don't know. But, you know, if I had to pick between the two, even if Nijisaji would get me less views, I feel like I'd have more fun in that company.
Prayer for His Majesty King Raminas, ever merciful, a man devoted wholly to peace. Prayer too for the noble Princess Ash, who, wrought with grief at her kingdom's defeat, has taken her own life. Know also that Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg, for incitement of sedition and the assassination of His Royal Majesty King Ramenos, has been found guilty of high treason and put to his death. They who at this late hour choose still the sword are cut of the same cloth as the captain. Traitors who would lead Dalmasca to her ruin. Dalmasca's surrender without terms was soon to follow.
I don't know. I don't think it I think it depends, but with Hollow Live, I don't think they care as long as it doesn't interfere with their work. The problem is it's the way the society is, and that's what happened with the whole Rushia thing. Though it was worse with Rushia because she played a girlfriend experience. Even though this guy was just a friend, you know, boom, you know, she's speaking to him. Oh my God, hell has to be on fire. God damn it, right? Like, it's just the way the culture is.
1, 2, 3 more. All right, time to clean house.
Well, at least so you'd think. A lot of the Hollow Live talent, people know who they are. Because, at least with Hollow Live, they generally pick more famous people, or people that are already established. And those people already have, like, even if you don't know who they really are, you knew who they were in a previous career.
Guess I know who to call when something big comes.
So, like, I think Gura, like, I don't know if anyone, or no, I think everyone has, you know, like, they know who everyone is in real life.
Practice for the desert. I'm ready for anything now.
That's why I don't mind, like, even if people figured out I was Daimien, or, like, whoever I become figured, oh, that's Daimien Kamiya. Well, they still don't know who I am, right? So, like, they just know I was a previous VTuber. That's it.
Might have some work for you to do too.
I've got other, work to do. Hey, lock this place up for me, will you? If Miguel finds out we've been down here, he'll tan our hides.
So that's the first, I didn't cover it really quick, but that's the first change between the original Final Fantasy XII and the Zodiac Age. Vaughn starts with a dagger in this game, and the originally started with the Mithril Blade. Or the Mithril Sword, I believe, sorry.
Huh? What'd you say? Sir, you haven't paid, and I... What? Haven't paid? On second thought, please, sir, take it. It's a gift.
Leave the poor sod be. We don't want trouble today.
Your luck, peddler.
Oops, sorry.
Which way you're going, churl? What? My pouch! It's gone! The boy!
So the changes between the original and Zodiac Age, absolutely. The changes between Zodiac Age and the mod Struggle for Freedom, yes. Well, yes and no. They took out, the mod took out some, it balanced the game. So a lot of overpowered stuff got removed. A lot of underpowered stuff got fixed. So, but generally speaking, between the original and the remake, yes, many changes got improved. I can't think of a single disadvantage. Even the license boards.
What do you mean, yours? You've been stealing again. What happens if they catch you? We need you to be there for us, Vaughn. You're no good to anyone if you're locked away in a dungeon.
Oh, what? Am I the leader now? We're orphans. The first thing you learn is you gotta watch out for yourself. Come on, Penelo. You know it as well as I do. Hey, you give that back. What do you think you're doing?
I thought that this money was the people of Dalmasca's property. The Imperials stole it from us, so it's only fair that we take it back. It's our duty as Dalmascans. Well, wasn't that what you said?
Yeah, but I never said anything about taking it back from me.
This is for that bread you took the other day. Just because I help Miguelo out every now and then, it doesn't mean that you get to eat for free too, you know.
I know that. You think I like living like this?
The blessings of a Final Fantasy game. Way too many cutscenes for the first 3 hours.
An airship of my own. I'll be a sky pirate, free to go where I will.
Well, be careful. You'll never fly anything if you're rotting in a dungeon. Oh, Miguelo had some errands that need doing. He wanted you to drop by his place. It might be a good idea to lend a hand.
All right. Yeah. Let's go. Oh god. It's a little bit hard to maneuver.
Vaughn, I was waiting.
Penelo said you needed something?
Had me some packages supposed to be arriving by courier. In the morning, perhaps he ran into some trouble out in the desert. Now I've no foodstuffs to prepare for the banquet tonight.
So you want me to find this courier? Hey, no problem.
No problem. The desert teem's with trouble. I'd be sending you to early grave, my boy. No, I've arranged for some replacement goods from Tomage over at the Sand Sea.
So you want me to go to the tavern to pick him up?
Actually, I asked Kites to do that. Wouldn't you know he's gone missing on me, too? I can't leave my
Vaughn's like the third choice.
on another chore at the moment, you see. What I want you to do is run over to the Sand Sea and fetch Kites back. What do you say?
Sounds wild.
It's easy work, and you'll thank me for it someday.
Thought so! That's John DiMaggio! Oh my, I heard it. I heard it in his voice and I'm like, that's John DiMaggio! John DiMaggio's voicing Miguelo! Dude, John DiMaggio is one of my favorite voice actors of all time, so I'm super... I can't believe I never realized that! I've been playing this game since the original in 2012! Or no, I think it came out way sooner than that. Like 2008, I think? 8 or 9?
Miguelo's courier didn't get here on time.
Creature spotted in the Ester Sand. What is that thing?
Granted, I didn't know who John DiMaggio was back then.
He's a busy man,
per se.
Miguelo, if I dare say so myself. I don't envy him the work, though. Not a bit. Quite the affair throwing a banquet to welcome the Imperials, eh?
Welcoming? We should be... whatever. Say, Tomage, what's this?
Nah, don't remind me. Got some nastiness out there in the Ester Sand. What's stopping our couriers? And that means shortages all around. Thought I'd put up a bill, offer a reward to anyone who can knock that nasty back in its place.
Now that's work. Sounds 10 times better than running errands for Miguelo.
That's right. Vaughn, you should give it a shot.
And you should be getting back to Miguelo. Now, Kites. He was waiting for you.
Oh, right.
Here's how it works. People post bills here on the notice board when they have a monster they need taken care of. Hunt hunters track people, right? Well, hunters track monsters. The monster you're hunting is called your mark. Here's the bill I posted for the rogue tomato, the mark I petitioned to have hunted. You want to hear the details? Yep. I don't really need to, but might as well. Let's start with accepting hunts. You can't just take a look at the board and then go running off to hunt the mark. You miss out on the bounty. You gotta talk to the person who posted the bill, the petitioner first. Let him know you're going on the hunt. So take this Rogue Tomato build, for example. I posted it, so I'm the petitioner. You gotta come to talk to me. Let's call that step done, okay? Once your agreement's in place, the petitioner will tell you how to find the mark. Then you hunt it, report back, claim the bounty. Oh, I'll give you something to keep track of your hunts. A clan primer. Use it to refresh your memory about hunts you've accepted. Go ahead and take this. While you're at it, just a little something to commemorate your first hunt. Oricea Amulet. Or Armlet. Looks like you can't even equip that yet. You know why? You don't have the license for it. Think of licenses as mileposts, marking your progress as your combat skills improve. Bows, swords, black magics, white magics. None of it does you a lick of good if you don't have the license to use it. Same goes for that armlet. Tomaj, how can I equip this great treasure you've bestowed upon me, you ask? Easy. Learn by doing. Give it a try. I'd say you're ready to hunt that mark for me. Oh, you'll just be needing this to leave the city. Just show it to the watch at the gate. Writ of Transit. The East Gate's the one you'll want to head out. Once you've taken care of that mark, let me know. Your work won't go unrewarded. I do not want to see this. This is the only tutorial outside of the one Tomaj that you can actually skip. I don't want to see it. I'll go over it myself. Okay, this is the license board. In the original, every class had access to, every character had access to every license. That was the PlayStation 2 version. It was great because everyone could do everything, but it was also bad because everyone could do everything. Wasn't like, you at a point you didn't really need more than 3 party members because they could do everything. Then the International International Zodiac Job system came out. That was the remake of the PlayStation 2 one, exclusively for Japan. That one introduced the class system. However, you could only get one of the 12 classes on each character. Now, in this game, you can get 2. However, you can't get the second one until much later. So the classes are White Mage, Shikari, White Mage is the healer, obviously, support. Shikari is basically your thief. Bushi, which is your katana user, your samurai. Black Mage is black magic. Archer. Foebreaker is just like your heavy hitter. Time Battle Mage is just your time-related caster. So they're the one that can do haste. You basically your time magics. Monk, which is kind of just... Monk is a heavy physical DPS. Knight, again, heavy physical DPS. Red Battle Mage, which is basically a mix between Black Mage and White Mage, but not as good as either. Mechanist, which is kind of like Archer, but more utilitarian, right? They focus more on kind of utility rather than damage. Ulan, which is kind of like a Dark Knight, right? While a Knight focuses on like melee with some white magics, Ulan focuses on melee with some black magics, though the magics aren't really that good. So I have already devised my team on this. So Vaughn is going to be a Shikari for his first job. Ignore the images of the characters. That's an aspect of the mod. Originally, each class has its own picture based off the Sagittarius sign that it's supposed to... the Zodiac sign it's supposed to represent. Remember how I mentioned that this game had a license board for each character's class, like character class? That's what the images are for. That's where they get replaced. So there's 2 for each because they have their struggle board and their freedom board. So the struggle board is the linear board where you have to buy the licenses in order, while the freedom board allows you to kind of buy it like you could in any other format, like this one, for example. Now, I'm missing a lot right now, and that's because, as I mentioned, actual method of the battling system in this game doesn't actually exist. We don't have it yet. But this is the license that he was telling us to buy. Every class gains access to it, so we will buy it now. So that allows us to equip the armlet he gave. The armlet, which is down here, will simply just give me more HP and MP. I believe this got buffed between the original and the Zodiac Age, and I think the mod also changed it a bit too. Alright, so now we can leave. Be doing a teeny bit of grinding. The mod makes grinding a lot harder because enemies hit harder and take more damage, so... like, normally the grinding is kind of a piece of cake, but...
Let's see some papers, boy. No public passage on account of the Lord Consul's parade.
Oh, gee, that's too bad. You see, it just so happens that your provisioner for the fete tonight, he sent me to pick up a few choice morsels for the, Consul's dining pleasure. He wants them quick. I got the writ of transit right here. You see? Signed, Magello. I just hate to see the Consul upset because his food wasn't ready on time. And I sure hate to see him take it out on you.
The Lord Consul is a great man, and not one to take offense in such trifling matters.
I don't even understand why Vaughn needed the attitude for this. He had all the paperwork he needed to get in and out.
Move along, boy. Wouldn't do to keep the Consul waiting. Right. Gates are closed after this.
Alright, we can save here. So on the next map, I just kind of like to grind out a little bit, get some killing done, level up a little bit. These are just an intro cutscene to the map. So the giant cactite is a mod thing. I don't know why the modder decided to make them incredibly large for whatever reason, but, you know, to each their own. God, I hate not having the combat system, the gambits. Is there a chest over here? It might not have spawned. None of the chests are spawning. Why? Get over here. I want you away from... Ooh, a 3-hit. That's good. So yeah, so attacks can combo and stuff. There's a percentage chance. Some weapons are better than others. There's a level up. That's a +1. Want to be very, very careful. I'm probably just going to go back up to the previous map. Go back to the crystal and save. Normally, in the regular Zodiac Age, I would just keep killing because you end up killing the enemies fast enough and they don't do as much damage. And then you just start chaining off the wolves and then just get potions dropped way more frequently. You wouldn't really have an issue. But in this mod, because of all that, the enemies actually hit much harder. Surviving, normally I get to about level 5 or so. Alright, so this is the Wild Saurian. Don't attack it. It's friendly. Green health bar means an enemy that won't attack you unless you attack it. It, by default, I believe, starts out at like level 30. So no matter what, you will always get killed by it in one hit. However, it also possesses a move called Cannibalize, which you just saw it do there. It'll eat other enemies on the map and level up from it. So I don't know what level the thing is now, but it's not 30, I can tell you that. On the chest. Alrighty. Oh, come on. Stop! Come on! Can I attack wolves in peace? Okay, well, I'm not attacking 3 wolves at once. Let's go down here to the, So there's a little bit of money, like teeny bit of money I can pick up here, but there's a few items I can find here. That's just, you know, crappy money. Just looking for the sparkly glints. Oh, there's one. There we go. This chest right here. This is a guaranteed spawn. Firefly. Now, this is where the mod and the base game change. So, first things first, this chest does not exist in the original game. In the original game, the Firefly is not there. What does it do in the Zodiac Age? Well, the Firefly makes it so that you can't... it prevents your character from gaining experience. People did challenge runs in the original called, they were called 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3 challenges. And the point of the run is to basically never level up a character for the entire duration of the game. And those trinkets become absolutely mandatory. It helps, though, that bosses don't give experience in this game. Only standard enemies do. So this game assists in that by spawning the Firefly right away, so there's no way you can possibly level up. However, the mod changes it. The Firefly in the mod removes the environment from having an effect on your damage. So to explain this, you need to understand about elemental effects. So the area you're in, or no, like, not the area, oh, the area does have an impact. Area, I believe, has some impact, but weather also can have a greater impact. Or something. I just know, like, when you're in certain environments, it can increase the damage of a certain type of spell, but also decrease the damage of another. So, you want to be able to, Early in the game, though, you don't really get a control over... Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. I really don't want to have to use my potions, so that's why I keep going back to the save crystal. You know, you don't get a choice in that early game, so... And because of the class system, you might be in a circumstance where you decided, hey, I'm going to make Vaughn a black mage, and he's going to have environmental spells. And then that's where the problems begin, because, well, he can still do fine. You know, if you're in an area that's going to weaken fire magic, you know, well, you're not going to... You're not going to have a good time. It's not like it's a huge weakness. I think it's only like a 20% damage cut, but, you know, still. However, the trinket also removes positive effects, too, so... It just makes you complete... It makes everything you do completely immune to the environmental or weather in total. Potion time! What level am I, by the way? 3 still? I will say there is things I need to buy, so... Very early game, so I don't mind grinding a bit, even if it's just to get money. Oh man, I'm tired, but it's really nice to actually have a game where I can lay back. This is the first game on my channel I'm playing with a controller, so I don't have to be hunched over my desk. To be honest, the next 4 games I have set for the primary slot are all going to be, I can't even do the normal thing, though. And a map will reset if you go 2 zones away. But, I can't do that now. I don't have access to any 2 zone away maps. There's an enemy type to the right that I'm not going to fight if it appears. There it is. So the what are they called? Cockatrice, those. I'm not gonna fight them because they have an ability that can cast Petrify. Why is that scary? Because there is literally no means of curing Petrify, and the stone effect is terrifying. Because the stone effect is basically an insta-kill after a 10-second timer. And there's no way to cure it. There's no way to get to a town. Unless you have really good movement, you're very unlikely to even get to a town. Once you get into a town, the status condition will freeze. Alright. Sorry. Almost dozed off there for a second. I'm gonna try and stay awake more. This isn't, at least this isn't necessarily going to completely be a game that, I'm just gonna get to level 4 here. Because this is taking a lot longer than I really hoped it would. Oh. Alright. It's weird because I personally feel like being on stream makes me more tired. Because I could be playing this right now by myself off stream and I wouldn't have to be, and I would not be worrying about getting tired at all. I tell you though, it's definitely easier to fight when I know I have people in chat. Especially if they talk. Very easy to fight. Fight it off. Because I can just communicate. Oh, I leveled up. Okay. So let's go back. Heal up, and we'll go fight the rogue tomato. If it gets to half health, it's gonna jump down. Dead. Oh.
Galbana lilies? Never thought I'd see him growing out here. This'll make a nice souvenir. Time to call it a day.
One sec. Alright, so we can head back over. Don't worry, I have my key grinding points. So we have to talk to Kites next. Ah, Vaughn. I guess I'm not the only one who got locked out of the city. Told Penel about the mark you were going after, and I guess you got her worrying, so the two of us headed out to find you. As soon as I stepped out of the guards closed the gates and things got crazy. I haven't been able to find her since.
Stand back there. Back! This gate's closed until the ceremony's over, do you hear?
Now what?
Open the gate! Alright, out the way.
Wait a second. How come you let these chocobos through the gate and not us?
What of it? This here's a pedigreed parader, boy. Cost tens of thousands of gil, this one did. A prettier price than 100 of you provincials would fetch. Keep your distance. We don't want the chocobo sticking a peasant.
What'd you say?
Step aside. Right then, move them in.
Well, that does it.
Oh, a fine chocobo you have there. Yes, cedar down stock if I'm not mistaken. Change the soil, change the chocobo, am I right? Yes, different soil means different bouquet too. Take a Damascus Barrow's wine, It may lack the flavor and depth of some of your Arcadian wines, but it has a certain strength of character. It's not bad, really, once you get used to it. Care for some, sirs? There's more than enough for all to cool their throats, of course.
You let these carts through and close this gate is ordered. My mail's choked with this sand.
Don't give me a scare like that. You're lucky that ended where it did.
Right. Now's our chance to go through.
The ceremony will be starting soon. I'd best be hurrying.
Okay, well... Vaughn, wait! What is it? Vaughn!
Is Kites not coming through? He didn't run after him. I know he's not in the next cutscene, but... So, pause for a second. Oh, I can't pause these. I'll wait after this.
We will have order. I give you your new consul, His Imperial Highness Lord Vane Solidor, Commandant of the Arcadian Empire's Western on... Your Excellency.
People of Rabanastre, is it with hatred you look upon your consul? With hatred you look upon the Empire?
Spit on your empire! Go back to Arcadia!
There was little point in asking. But know this, I harbor no idle hopes of frustrating that hatred. Nor shall I ask your fealty. That is the due of your fallen king, and rightly so. King Ramanas loved his people, strove to bring you peace. His was a rule worthy of your devotion. Even now, he remains among you, protecting you. His ardor for the peace and weal of Dalmasca falters not. I would ask only that you do your king honor. Together let us embrace the peace His Majesty would surely desire. 2 years now divide us from war's bitter end, yet still its shadow looms over all, stifling the infant peace a pall only you may cast off. Achieve but this one thing, and your hatred of me and of the Empire will grieve me not. I will stand fast. I will endure your hatred, suffer your slings and arrows. I will defend Dalmasca. Here I will pay my debt. I swear it now. Though King Ramanas and Lady Ash be gone, they stand ever at the side of their people. In honoring peace, you do honor to their memory and to Dalmasca. What I ask plain. My hopes now rest with you.
Is Rabanastre to your liking, my lord?
It is magnificent. Take this cathedral, for instance. Elegant, yet whimsical in its execution. A stunning example of Galtean architecture. I hope Lord Gramus might one day look upon it himself.
The patron of this evening's banquet, may it please your excellency.
I am Miguelo, your highness. It is truly a profound honor to make the acquaintance of our future emperor, highness. The people of Rabanastre join me in welcoming you.
That's enough of highness. Though indeed I am our emperor's son, I am no prince. Arcadia's emperor is freely chosen by her people. I am but an elected official and nothing more.
I meant no disrespect.
Now that I think on it, I would not have you address me as Lord Consul, for that matter.
No?
Henceforth, I am a citizen of Rabanastre. Why don't you call me Vane?
I could not. That would not be right.
You are overly fond of formalities. I've just the remedy for that. Tonight you will join me, and we shall drink until you call me by name.
How can he stand about him like that?
Vaughn, you just do not get it, do you? He's not doing it because he wants to. You know what would happen if he didn't.
I know, it's just...
So, what would you do different?
I don't know. Well... I'd do something.
Vaughn. Vaughn, you haven't heard a single word I've said, have you? This place has changed so much. It's like it's not even Rabanastre anymore. Like the Empire is swallowing it whole.
Hey, Penel, that fate tonight. You think they'll let us in?
Are you crazy? It's in the palace, and we don't have an invitation if you hadn't noticed.
So, how are we getting in?
As if I'd know. Why not ask Magello to get you in? Or go see old Dallin in Lowtown? Why the sudden interest, Vaughn?
I told you, I'm going to take back what's ours. Give back to Dalmasca. Come on, what do you think? If I find something, and it fetches a good price, how about I buy you all dinner?
Oh, please. You know as well as I do the first thing you'd buy is an airship. All hail Vaughn, sky part of Dalmasca. It's got a nice ring to it. Stay out of trouble.
An airship. I don't know. Maybe, but not through Magello. Time to pay old Dallin a visit.
Okay, I want to go here first. Ah, you got a primer, so you have. Well, what are you standing about out here for? In with ya. Can't quite recall your face, you knew. Might want to pay special heed to what the folks inside have to say. Well, you going in or not? Okay, let me in. So, the reason why I did not adjust the volume sliders in-game, but had to adjust both OBS and my PC's volume for this game, is because those cinematic cutscenes, those ultra-realistic ones, they are unaffected by in-game volume control. So no matter what, so if I were to adjust the in-game volume control, it would be fine for all the time that those cutscenes don't appear. And then when they do appear, they blast your hearing. So to me, it's just a lot simpler to just keep everything 100%. You know, Kingdoms of Amalur, same thing. For some reason, the cinematic cutscenes play at full volume no matter what you do. Kupopo, yours is a new face. Are you a hunter? Welcome to our clan hall. I'm Mont Blanc, founder of Clan Centurio. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Kupo. Our clan is a very strict entrance examination. We should begin yours at once, and you pass. Muggles are quick to make up their minds, Kupo. You're now a member of Clan Centurio. Here in the clan hall, you hear about especially dangerous marks you won't find posted on the board. The moment they rear their ugly heads. Well, I'll get on with filing the necessary clan membership certificates. I'll be finished in no time flat, Kupo. Kupo, I nearly forgot. Now that you're a member, you can make purchases from our clan shop in the Muthru Bazaar. Be sure to stop by, Kupo. Oh, one more thing. The magics and techniques you'll learn on the license board come in real handy on a hunt, Kupo. If, say, you're thinking you'd like to make some adjustments to someone's board, well, Kupo, I'm the Moogle you need to come and see. Happy hunting. So that was additionally added. So he's just going to give me some stuff for joining. So this changing license board was an additional... This was actually not even in the base game. It got added to the base game through an update. And that's because people screwed up on their license boards or whatever and wanted to change. You know, it's one thing... It's one thing, for example, to accidentally buy a license, because you can make that up by just getting license points. Every enemy in the game gives license points, so buying the wrong license just sets you back a tiny bit. But picking the wrong 2 classes can be detrimental, and that's what happened to me. First time I played Zodiac Age, I picked 2 classes because I'm like, oh, I'll just pick these 2 classes. Did not realize the mistakes I was making. You know, it's one thing when you pick Shikari and this license here, for example, this HP license. So licenses are shared amongst boards. So if I picked another class that had this license, it would already be unlocked. You know, and that's fine, but then you end up with classes that have a lot of the same licenses. Like Ulan and Monk, for example, was a combination I had picked in my first playthrough. And they are virtually almost identical classes. Now, it's not to say that they're a bad combination, but they're not the greatest. You're underutilizing what both classes can perform. But because at the time there wasn't an option to respec classes, I had to literally start the game over. I had to start the game completely over from the beginning to select the classes I wanted. More efficient classes. I also picked White Mage, Black Mage, and let me tell you, that's an issue in and of itself. So I've already brought up the Gambit system. I'll go into more depth, but basically the Gambit system is your attack. You're attacking. It's the combat system. The thing is, White Magic uses a lot of Gambits because of support-related abilities, such as Protect, Protect, Shell, Healing, etc., etc. Things like that. It uses a lot of those. Black Mage also uses a lot of them for casting reasons. So I ended up with a license board that just wasn't up to supporting, or I just ended up with a class combo that just wasn't up to being able to be utilized based off how the class needed to be utilized. So this is how you make money in the game. You kill things, get the loot, sell it. That's literally it. That's what the loot panel's for. It's for selling things you find, or it's for selling things. That's it. Outside of a few key circumstances. I want to get all those. You really don't want to fall behind in certain spells, especially early game. You're actually going to see me make a detour, and this is a Zodiac Age change that still annoys me a little bit to this day. But now that I know to do it, I do it every time. Even with the inherent risk of almost getting game overs. This is the technique shop. Definitely will buy Libra. So the game, thankfully, with this mod, the mod starts you with steel. Which is, normally it doesn't do that. So that's a really, really nice thing. Starting the game out with steel is huge. I'm not going to buy equipment because nothing's really going to be better than what I have. Alright, so I need to go to Lowtown. So there's 2 entrances to Lowtown. North Rabanastre and the South Gate. It's much more beneficial to go to the South Gate because that's where Old Dallin is. Oh, you know what? First things first. I need to go back in. Remember how Tomaj mentioned that when you complete a hunt, you need to come back to the petitioner to get the reward? I have yet to do that. So let's go back to Tomaj and turn in the hunt. There's also another hunt we can start. So this will all work out for us. I also need to get some money for maps, too. Alright, so I need to go back to the Sand Sea. Right here. Alright, so Tamaj is right over here. Ah, Vaughn. Defeated the rogue tomato, did you? I was worried you might not be ready just yet, but you did a fine job of it. Here, your bounty for completing the hunt. So gil, potions, and teleport stones. I'll talk about teleport stones in a second. The mod, though, did one thing great, and it made getting teleport stones early game much easier. So the next one is Threxa. Seek brave souls for slaying a fearsome beastie. My future rests on your swift response. My name is Ghastly. Seek me in the Sandseas Tavern. Yes. So when you... yeah, the petitioner's bill can be found in the following location. You must speak to the petitioner. So every time you pick a quest or pick up a mark, it will show you the map of the location they are in and give you the icon to say where they are. If they were in, say, the majority of the map, the icon would be closer to the location, like lock on to them. So like in the like sideways T map there, it's highlighted. If they were off to the left side, that's where the icon would be. But because they're in a building, it just highlights the building. So in this case, you'd have to talk to everyone in the building until you find who it's supposed to be. However, I already know it's this guy. So I build a hunt or Thextura. If you're looking for Ghastly, you found him. I own a shop over in the bazaar, but times have been tough. So I put in order for some new goods, hoping to stir up some business. Put everything I own as collateral against that shipment. Trouble is, there's beasties in the Wester Sands been attacking the caravans. As it happens, my goods are supposed to be arriving by the way of the Wester Sand too. If this Threxa were to attack, what of my goods? Please, you must kill Threxa for me. Accept the hunt and I'll tell you where to find it. Now we're talking. Threxa stalks the Wester Sands in a region known as Galti Downs. The caravan drivers said they were set upon along the cliff wall to your left as you leave the city via the west gate. I'm depending on you. If our shop goes under, my wife and I will be turned out on the streets. I don't plan to do that one just yet. Don't worry. I have plans. I have the entire early game mapped out. No matter what classes I pick or whatever I do, I know exactly what I do until I get to the Gambit system, just to cover all my bases. Alright, to the South Gate. So, I mentioned the teleport stones. Well, we saw the save crystals earlier, but there's another type of save crystal, the orange one. So the orange save crystal does the same thing as the blue save crystal, but it does two other features. The first feature is it restores a drive, like a mist gauge. I don't have mist yet, so it doesn't affect me right now. The second is that it allows you to teleport. However, we don't have access to another orange crystal yet, so it's kind of moot for the time being. Normally, you get teleport stones by completing side quests or hunts. And this goes for the original and the base game. The mod, however, puts a merchant earlier on in the game, allowing you access to teleport stones much earlier, because the vendor that sells them is pretty much late game. It's actually pretty awful how late game it is. So yeah, so the vendor allows you to do that. So you don't have to worry too much about teleport stones for the time being. To be honest, you're not really going to be teleporting too much beginning game anyways. It's just in the base game without the vendor, you really got to consider your stones. Otherwise, you're running around too much. Now, here's an interesting little tidbit piece of information. This only applies to the original game, the original PlayStation 2 version. There were certain key chests in the game that if you did not open them, it would allow you to get a certain amount of chests in a later dungeon would spawn. If you opened one of them, you would lose access to that chest, and that chest contained the strongest weapon in the original game, the Zodiac Spear. By no means is it the strongest weapon in the game anymore. But that entire thing has been removed. This, however, would have been one of the chests to avoid opening. And you can get faulted for it very quickly. You can pick that chest up very easily just by force of habit. So here is old Dalin's place. Let's go on in. I think I've finally hit my second wind on energy here. The cutscenes, I think, are really what drained me.
Ah, if it isn't Von Ratsbane. Come for a tip on how to secure something bigger and in armor by the East Gate?
What? You already heard about that?
Wise I may not be, but well informed I am.
They'll get what's coming to them someday, believe me. But that's not why I'm here.
Do tell.
By the way, I got a burger, so I'm going to be eating it.
They've got to have some great stuff in there.
I went to McDonald's before the stream.
Not one to mince words, are you, boy? The Empire protects all that's hers, and that means the palace and all the treasures inside.
That's why I'm gonna do it. To take back what's ours.
So, our champion of the sewers aspires to noble action. Admirable. Perhaps I can help you. Ah, now that I think on it, there was a rumor. Yes, a secret passageway into the palace walls. A door and a magic stone that opens the way.
That's it. This is exactly why I came to talk to you first, Alan. So, where's this, magic stone?
Oh, I've had it for years, if I can remember where I've tucked it away.
I've heard all I need. To this, crescent stone, can I have it? Then I can find the secret passage into the palace, right? Not much of a listener, are you? The crescent stone has lost its magics. Without the power of a sunstone, it will be of little use. Right. So where can I get one of these sunstones? You see, Giza Plains speaks with the nomads there. Speak with the nomads there. You will find your sunstone. Leave by South Gate and continue south. The village is not far. There are like to be the beasts on the plains, so be careful, my boy. You don't have to worry about me. I'll be back before you know it. Oh, you don't have to worry about me. I'll be back before you know it. Right. So, Dallin has interesting plot points within the beginning of the game. Basically gets the ball rolling for Vaughn. Let's see, Giza Plains. Hang a right here, and I'm practically at Southgate. This will be easy. Dallin serves another purpose in the game, though. If you ever get lost on your objective or where you're supposed to go, you can visit Dallin, and he'll give you hints as to what your next objective should be. So that's really generally what Dallin does. I really appreciate when games do that. They include someone to get you back on track. Because sometimes you might put the game down for like a month and come back to it and completely forget where you were. Giza Plains. Right, I'm just zipping by. I'm just zipping by. Let me open the chests. Zip into the village. There's no point in fighting just yet. If you come to see the dark crystals, not everyone takes well to the heat of Giza Plains. Ah, so it is a sunstone you seek. You've come to the right place. They can only be made here in Giza. They're quite valuable, though, so we can't go handling them out just to anyone who happens to wander through our camp. See, we make money and sell sunstones to earn the... We make and sell sunstones to earn the money we need to survive. Still, perhaps we can come to some arrangement. Would you like to hear my offer? The making of sunstones is a chore we give to children of our camp. They roam the plains, traveling from dark crystal to dark crystal, drawing the light from the crystals into shade stones. One of these children, Jin, has not yet returned. He left carrying our supply of shade stones. If you'll find Jin for me and tell him to come back to camp, you may take one of the sunstones he's made in return. Some of the children said they might have seen him to the south of camp. You may want to speak with them yourself before leaving. Please find Jin and tell him to return at once.
Penelo? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same, though the answer is pretty clear. No good.
What? I'm being good.
Is that right? So, then you wouldn't mind if I, say, tagged along, would you?
Huh?
Oh, don't worry. Miguelo's busy with preparations for the fete up at the palace. Why, I'm free for the whole day. Well, let's get going.
Penelo joins the party, so I can now assign Penelo her class. So, I already have Penelo's 2 classes written down. Spoiler alert, Penelo does not stay with the party for very long. So whatever class I give her doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to make her a white mage. So let's just level everyone up here. Let's see. Buy that. I'll buy that. I think that's good enough for now. So there's a shop here that does sell things that I need. Things upgraded that quickly, yes. To some degree anyways. Like it upgraded all the armor. And you got a bangle, which is Libra. So the only thing is Poach, which I can't buy just yet. I would very much like to get Poach early on, though. Doesn't hurt to have it. I'd like, generally, so what I like to do with trinkets and the accessories in this game is I like to have 3. 3 of everything. The reason being for that is, outside of very certain trinkets, most trinkets are actively based. So the character needs to be on the field for the trinket to take effect. As such, it doesn't matter if you're mid-combat, mid-boss fight, or whatever. You can just change trinkets mid-battle. You might not be able to swap characters, but you can change trinkets. So that trinket I got on the guy in the back, I can take it off him and put it on a guy on the front without consequence. So that's why I like to generally have 3. There's certain trinkets that do apply. There's only like a couple or so that apply outside of like the golden amulet, which got heavily nerfed in this game. It still does the same thing. It just, they nerfed in the original game. It used to be buyable. Now it's limited. You can only acquire, I think maybe you can get 6 of them, but like you have to be very particular on what you do at certain points of the game to get all 6. All right. So she's going to give some stuff here. So I need to grind money now. So that's what I'm actually going to do. This is why I ran through, because I wanted Penelo. So Penelo introduces you to some concepts here of the gambits. Gambits weren't even turned on. Oh, we didn't even have gambits. So now we have gambits, but we still don't really have a whole lot of control with the gambits. So I need to turn Vaughn's gambits on. Pinellas are already on by default. So, what does turning gambits on do? Well, gambits are sort of an automated system for combat. So remember how I was directed that I had to attack an enemy and then approach them? Well, guess what? Gambits do that for me. You might be thinking, well, why doesn't gambits make you switch targets? Well, because I don't have the right gambits. Suffice to say, the default gambit the beginning of the game gives you is party leader's target. But since both of you are the party lead, regardless of who you pick, Pinello or Vaughn, both are the party leader, it's, you know, it's automatically going to, the party, you have to attack first before they'll do anything. Very annoying. Assault Striker. I just got an achievement. Use attack 300 times. Really? I've attacked 300 times already. Damn. Alright, so there is one thing I can do while I'm, while I'm grinding up here for money. So first things first, I really should be stealing more. Let's, so technique, steal, he's a rabbit. So this will get me one additional piece of, in most cases, this can get me one additional piece of loot on every enemy I attack. I got another Firestone, excellent. So this will just mean more money, really. I don't want to, for right now, because I don't have Gambit set for it, I don't really want to steal if there's more than one enemy present. I didn't steal from him. Try it again. Try it again. There we go. So there's one chest I want to very quickly try and sneak up and grab. And it's on the next map, I believe. Pinello's gonna heal soon, I think. Okay, well, let's... How about both of us heal? Let's just get potions used. I've accumulated quite a bit of potions, because you only start the game with 10 potions, so... The fact that I have 24 now is a good sign. But, I'm gonna spoil it. Potions lose their effectiveness very quickly in this game. It's actually very upsetting how quickly potions become useless. They become more useless faster than you gain other alternatives. Alright, so I need to go down. Let me get this chest on the bridge first. Not down, but like south. Oh no. I'm not a big fan of fighting these guys this early in the game. They can be a bit annoying. Steal. Steal. Got the large feather just before the KO. Oh, and he didn't drop anything, though, so that was kind of moot. Look what it is! The rarest enemy, one of the rarest and yet most important enemies in the game. The wild snake. This is the only spawning location for this thing in the entire game. And yet it drops an item needed for one of the most powerful weapons in the game. Grinding it is a piece of crap. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna get Pinello to heal up. Because what I need... I don't want to fight these guys. The alpha can be a bit scary. So some wolf enemies can have an alpha spawn, and it's just a slightly stronger version than the normal enemy. There's a chest I need to get over here. So I'm going to run quickly, and I'm going to grab it. Treasure, blind. Got it. Let's go. So, in the original, the PlayStation 2 one, all spells are purchased. Oh, Pinello died. I'm not going to waste the Phoenix down. They are very... You can't buy them yet, so they're very, very powerful items to have this early in the game. But yeah, in the original, all spells are purchased. Things you can find in chests, though, are gambits. Again, I'll explain a little bit more about gambits when I can visibly show people things, and there's also another tutorial on them. Though the gambits one got annoying because almost every other chest had a chance to spawn a gambit that you could have already owned, because you could buy all the gambits, so it didn't make sense to me as to why you needed to find them. So in this game, they scrapped every gambit chest. Even in the base game. Like, you cannot find gambits in chests anymore, and you can get access to all of them much earlier in the game than you used to. Sometimes you'd have to get halfway through the game before you could finally get all the gambits. It was actually very annoying. However, to consequent that, many spells in the game are now only available through a chest. The chest is guaranteed to spawn, at least the early game ones are. And you just have to get the chest, otherwise you cannot find the spell. It's the only way to get the spell in the game. Techniques the same way. Techniques are the same. Alright. Let me sell. See what I got for money. I don't think I'm going to upgrade armor, not going to lie. Because I don't really see a point when it's only going to give me, like, 1 defense to each stat. I'm not selling that teleport stone because I really do need it. Bizarre goods. So when you sell loot, there's just a chance that the things you sell meet a requirement to pop an item in the bazaar. If you buy it, though, the cachet of that item completely resets. So if there's 2 items that use, or 2 items in the bazaar that use the same item cachet for an item, say they both use large feathers. If you buy one of them, it resets the large feather cachet, so you have to get more large feathers. So generally, the best plan is to get both items to spawn in the bazaar and then buy them both. Because once it spawns, it doesn't rescind the offer. I got a water stone. Yeah, I don't mind doing this because it's getting the LP too, like, oops, wrong button. Right in here, I can now buy a few more things. Like, what I might do, I don't know, because it's a leather shield in the shop, right? I don't think I get a license for leather shield. That's a damn shame. What I do want to do, though, is I want to get, I'm gonna buy that because I do wish to buy the bangle, because until I get access to Until I gain access to Libra, or until I gain access to Gambit slots, Libra's kind of not something I really want to have to manually keep using. Yeah, running around at like half health is very normal for this mod. Not the game. The game you can pretty much almost always run around at full health. Because the enemies are so easy to kill that you'll generally end up killing them before they can hurt you much. But in this one, like, because of their increased health, it generally takes sometimes maybe like 20% longer to kill. Yeah, and there's a lot of just general improvements to the game from the original. One was, I forgot what it's called, but it's like this cache. So you see the attack sliding commands at the bottom there next to players' names that say like when they're attacking and stuff. Well, that used to have basically a load. So certain spells and techniques, basically it was to ensure that the game wouldn't crash if too many like flashy moves were used at the same time, or powerful moves or whatever. So basically, just because in the original that was a relatively low number, so that's why spells could just sit there despite not being ready to cast. Like they would just sit there. And while that thing still exists in the remake, they increased it massively, so it's generally not really a problem. I think it's like, unless you're all using like the highest costing things, which is impossible anyways, unless like everyone's running Black Mage. I'm by the way, with the exercise rules for this game, I'm on the fence about level ups. Because it's fine for early game, so I might leave it for early game, but I might take it away for later game when I have a party of 6 and leveling up you know, is really going to rack up the points. But we'll see if, because there really isn't a whole lot of things to add points, so leveling up might be the only way to generally do it. Might be to generally get points. Alright. Is anyone... Are we still level 4? Damn. Felt like Vaughn was leveling up so much faster by himself. Yeah, so weapon-wise, this guy changed a crap ton of stuff. Daggers... Daggers got changed in a minimal way. Generally, just all daggers are now more, like, they're still fast, but they're more reliant on status effects. So outside of the main dagger, every dagger has basically a 25% chance to inflict whatever status it's designed to inflict. He also leveled things out too, so all daggers, I believe, are the same attack speed now. So the Danjiro blade and the was it the Mursa blade or whatever? Like they're the Mursa dagger, they're all like just the same speed as every other dagger. Oh, god damn it. Well, if she's dead, I'm gonna flee. Again, I'm not gonna use the Phoenix Down, I'll just go back to town. Entrance is right over here. Let's sell stuff off and figure things out from there. Yeah, getting poach is, to be perfectly honest, you don't really need poach this early. I might hold off on poach. Alright, poach. Oh wow, you can buy poach. From many locations. Like many like pretty much most of the shops in the game will sell poach. This is good though, because it definitely like 5,000 is a very hefty price to pay this early in the game. So what I'm going to do now, I'm gonna buy one bangle. It's a bit expensive to want to buy more than one at the moment, so I'm not gonna do anything beyond that. Should I upgrade Vaughn? You know what? I'll upgrade Vaughn. I'm not gonna upgrade Pinello though. She's not worth it. I'm early game, money's a bit tight. I'm not spending money on a character that's not going to stay in the party for very long. Alright, equipped, Pinello. I'll give you that though. Alright, so with that said, Vaughn, you can now buy the health license here. So that'll give him quite a bit of beef resistance. And Pinello, let's just give you that, I guess. Make Cure a little bit stronger. Alright, so we'll go to the save crystal and we'll save. And that also gets everyone fully healed, because when you upgrade health, things don't necessarily fully heal. Sorry, back to the game. Alright, so now what we're doing... Oh, you know what? First things first, before I do anything at all... I want to get the maps. Not having the maps is killing me. So 30 gold for Giza. I'm going to quickly run back to Rabanastre. And right in here. Sorry. The Westersands one's a bit expensive because you don't technically need it this early. The hunt may send you to the Westersands, but most of the Westersands is way too strong for you to manage right now. You know, unless you're a speedrunner trying to exploit specific things for money. Shout out to the loading glitch. The loading glitch, I forget if the loading glitch is even in this version. It might be only in the PlayStation 2 one. So the loading glitch, as you see, there's this line here, right? So if you were to kill an enemy and then cross the line before the numbers spawn, like the LP, EXP, or just the right time when they spawn, you can leave the map and come back and the enemy will still be there, right? And you can get all the loot and leave, and basically, it's used by speedrunners for this game, an immediate early game, to get access to, it's used by early game, or it's used early game on a rare game, a rare enemy, to basically keep him spawning, because he drops a really, really expensive item. And you can sell it. You can basically chain him and just sell it. And it gets... what you do is you buy Phoenix Downs. You just get Phoenix Downs and you just kill them. You get a lot of money for starting the game off. Yeah, all these enemies are too strong for me. Even these enemies are too strong for me. This is the only map where the enemies aren't too strong. Items. I need to heal up. Alright. So that hunt we have to fight is right over here. There he is. These seem like a waste of potions, but I'd really like to go into this thing on full health. There is 0 point and not focusing attention on him. If you heard that chick, 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 chick noise, that attack, if he lands it, can almost one-shot you. Depending on your health values, it can do like, I think it can do like 200 damage. So it would have one-shot Pinello, but Vaughn would have been fine if he was high health. Here's a level up. Did both of them level? Nope, just Vaughn. Yeah, that guy can be really tough depending on how you prepare for him. Like, really, really super tough. So you want to be super careful with how you handle him. So we're going to head back and turn in that quest, because the next thing I'm going to do benefits from the next thing I'm going to do. Not really much else to say on that. Ghastly. Or Gatsly. See, me and my wife, this isn't much, but I want you to take it for helping us out. This time, well, it's time I head back to my shop. Say, you should stop by sometime. Maybe I'll have a little something for you. I'm afraid it won't be much, so don't go too far out of your way. But if you happen to be near the bazaar, say hello. Agreed? Right, and then there's going to be one more hunt I can do. Though, you don't stand a chance against this one. This early game, you do not stand a chance. It has the technique 1,000 Needles, and any Final Fantasy fan will know this early game, 1,000 Needles will one-shot you. Like, by like 4 times the amount of damage. It also likes to run around the map, which causes you to gain the attention of a lot of different enemies. I know where to start the quest, but I start the mark in very particular orders here. Oh, I didn't add a counter for defeating the boss. Or defeating the mark, sorry. Alright. I'm heading to the left side this time. Or the right side, I should say, based on the map. I need to exit over here. I don't need to do this, by the way. I'm doing it for my own sake. Exit points between zones don't get labeled until you use them. So this would just be question mark until I ended up using it. So, another spell chest is here. Right here. It is silence. And then I want to go here because it gets me another save crystal and another teleport crystal too. There's nothing much you can buy here though. It's not even worth it. I just come here because it saves me a little bit of time later on. Alright. I don't try to fight anything here because everything is, I don't want to say like super high leveled, but they're like just a wee bit stronger than you're really capable of preparing on in quick succession. Again, you also don't have any means of curing, oh, I need to be on this map. There's another spell. You don't have any means of curing Petrify, and if the cockatrice hit you with that, you're screwed. Poison. That is all the spell chests we can find for the time being. And you will see me use none of them for a while, as literally all 3 of them can only be used by Black Mage. So I think Red Mage might be able to use a couple. It's actually a little disappointing. In the Struggle for Freedom character or story-based license board, they all have or Vaughn gets access to slow, blind, and silence really early game, and it's really beneficial because those are the best boss status effects. Bosses are immune to mostly everything else. So the reason I came here, this doesn't hurt. I like to buy like about 10 of these. So that's the item that cures Petrify, which is really a stab. This is why I came here. Originally, you could buy all... So, in the original, the PlayStation 2 version, the vendor in Rabanastre sold all 3 spells. He sold like Cure, Fire, Blizzard, Thunder. That was it. He sold them all. In this game, though... And the thing is, you only had to buy Blizzard and Thunder, because when a future party member joins the team, they would bring along Cure and Fire. They don't do that anymore. Penelo brings along Cure, though, I believe. But I don't even actually know if she does that. I don't know. I do this so often now. But yeah, now Rabanastre only sells Fire. You have to come here for Blizzard, and another vendor will sell Thunder. You do not want to miss Blizzard. It is very, very useful for a dungeon coming up, and you will not have the opportunity to get Blizzard once you deal with this whole Sunstone part. There's a cutoff point, and there's a dungeon right after it where you'll be locked out of Blizzard, and a lot of enemies in that area are weak to ice. In the original, it was really useful because the entire party could use ice. In this game now, only Red Battle Mage, and Black Mage can use it. I would teleport, but I forgot to start the quest. So, unless you start with those, you can't use it. Also, the mod has changed the spells around. So, out of all the spells we have, and I'll talk about Thunder a bit too, what has changed? Well, the first thing is Poison. Poison is now an AoE with this mod. In the previous game, it was not, as there's another spell later on called Toxify that used to be the AoE. Toxify got redone. I'll talk about Toxify when I get it. What else got changed? Yeah. So Fire, Thunder, and Blizzard, they all got remodeled. Talk to this guy. Now that the ceremony for the new console is over, I'll finally open up the road. Oh, oh, you're here about the bill I posted? That's the first good news I've had all day. So you'll hunt this flowering cactoid for me? That's what I wanted to hear. So let's tell you what you need to know. You probably saw some creatures that look like cactuses on the way here from Rabanastre. Speak of the devil. You've seen them before, right? Mostly they keep to themselves. Mostly. Every now and then, a different sort of cactoid comes along. Has a flower on his head. They're the troublemakers. Smarter than your average cactoid, and they have a taste for blood. Can't count how many times they've attacked the outpost. But they don't dare attack while I'm on watch. They tried that once, learned their lesson. Look, there it is now. Flowering cactoid's the one up front. Look, there it is, mocking us. You did a number on this poor Sikh's belongings too. Needles everywhere. I'd hunt it down myself, but I'm stuck here on watch. I asked a passing merchant to submit the bill for me, and that's where you come in to the story. Flowering cactoid's been lurking out in the Yardang Labyrinth. Do us all a favor and hunt it down for me. So that's the map we were just on. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing this hunt just yet. I'm setting it up for the future. Oh, and when you kill it, don't forget to take the flower. The apothecaries can make a potent salve from its petals. So yeah, so Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder all got changed. Oh, how did they get changed? They all have different attacking properties. So Fire didn't change. In its core value, Fire is the same. However, it now has a 10% chance when it hits a target to hit them with the oil status effect. Oiled, and an enemy under oil now takes double damage from fires, from anything fire. So it can be very deadly if you hit that status. Thunder now longer has no charge time. So that little slider at the bottom next to a character's name, yeah, that doesn't it just basically almost insta-casts now. So it's the fast go-to spell. Blizzard is AoE. It's the only one of the three that's AoE. In the original, Fire, Ice, and Blizzard, or Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder were not AoE, but Fire, the Raw spells, and Up all became AoEs. will now only, no matter what the level of the spell is, only Blizzard is AoE. So with that said, I've bought everything I want to buy, so I'm going to now progress the story. I don't need to level up anymore. But yeah, so that's how the mod changes those 3 spells. So it does make it a little bit more interesting, especially now that the elemental spells basically have different properties amongst themselves. I'm just going to kind of run through all this. No real reason to stick around. Here's Jin. Yeah, my name's Jin. What's it to ya? Masuya wants me to come back to the village, huh? That could be a problem. Let's see. Maybe my leg's better now. Nope, no good. Still hurts. I tripped running from some monsters. Guess I pulled something. I'm never gonna get any sunstones made like this. Just need to make one more to be finished for today. I didn't want to head back short, so I thought I'd give my leg a rest and try again. Why are you out here looking for me, anyhow? Explain the situation. You need a sunstone, huh? Well, if Musa doesn't mind, I'll give you a shade stone. But I'm not sure I can walk yet. You'll have to turn it into a sunstone, okay? Don't worry, I'll tell you how. Do you know that we use dark crystals and shade stones to make sunstones, right? Here, there's a shade stone for the dark crystals. You find them all over Giza. This stone right here beside me is one of the smaller ones. The bigger crystals have something inside that soaks up sunlight and shines really bright. See that one over there? If you take the shade stone I gave you and bring it near one of those shining dark crystals, it'll absorb the energy from it. There are 4 shining dark crystals in Giza right now. If you have trouble finding them, just stop and scan the horizon. There's no way to tell how much energy you can draw from one crystal without trying. You shouldn't need to use all 4 though. This gauge will show you how much energy the shade stones absorbed. When it's full, you'll have yourself a sunstone. Once you've made the sunstone, bring it to me. I'll make sure it's up to snuff. I'll go ahead and mark the dark crystals on your map, too. See you back here when you're done. Alright. So there's an easy one right here. Now, I'm like 90% sure that you cannot 2-cycle this. You have to go to 3 crystals. The highest I've seen 2 crystals get is like 96%. I think I've even once seen it where you had to get 4. Like, I don't think a single crystal can give you more than like, give you anything. It can't give you 50%. It gives you less than 50% no matter what. So I need 37% on the last one. If I don't get 37%, then I have to go for the 4th one. And that's really bad luck. Got it. Okay, good. That's that. Nothing to it. Let's take it back to Jin and see what he says. I hope we did it right. Sure, let's go. Thankfully, they auto-take you back to Jin. Hey, you got a sunstone. Let's take a look. Seems okay to me. Not bad for city folk. So here's what happened. Yusa's always warning us to stay away from the werewolves, right? Well, a bunch of us decided to have a little contest to see who was the bravest. Started out as a lark, but Tot said that none of us kids living on the plain should be scared of monsters. I guess I got carried away. Don't let any of the grown-ups know, though, okay? So werewolves are one enemy on the plain that are way too strong for you to fight. They're like level 17, I believe. Which doesn't seem too unreasonable compared to the Saurian earlier, but they're aggressive, meaning if you get anywhere near them, they attack you and they'll one-shot you. They were on the map of the first crystal I got. Anyway, my leg's feeling better now. Let's head back to the village. I'll race you and try and keep up. Jin made it back home, safe and sound. He's a good boy. But how his mind wanders. He never thinks of the worry it causes me. I'm sorry if he was any trouble. Please, take these with my thanks. Jin gave you a sunstone, yes? I hope it may be some help to you. Away I go. And Pinello, this is where Pinello leaves.
Hey, Vaughn.
Huh?
It's been a long time since we did anything together. Too long. I had a really good time. Well, I should probably be getting back to the store. Actually, I was kinda supposed to be watching the place for Miguelo. And Vaughn, try to stay out of trouble. For me, I don't know what I'd do if you weren't here. If something happened to you.
I'm not going anywhere, okay?
That's what I wanted to hear. See you later.
Sorry, Pinello.
So any items that Pinello has equipped on her disappear with her when she leaves the party. So in some cases, to make a quick extra buck, I sell off her gear when she leaves. Because when she comes back to the party, all of it's obsolete anyways. So there's no point in even keeping it. It can be some nice early money. Oh ho, so you got a sunstone, have you? Hand it over, my boy, and I'll use it to give the Crescent Stone back its magic like I promised.
Now you'll be wanting to know how to sneak into the palace, eh? First you go to Storehouse 5. You know the one. 2 doors she has. Now the right takes Ban Ratsbane to his territorial hunting grounds in the sewer bottom. But that's not the way you'll go. No, you'll take the left door, down into the Garamsite waterway. The waterway leads to a stair. The stair to the palace cellars. That's your way in. But don't go counting your gil just yet, my boy. Getting into the palace was the easy part. The way into the treasury is carefully hidden. That's where this Crescent Stone comes in. The magics it bears can open the hidden door to the treasury, you see. Listen, Vaughn, for the words I shall speak are most important, and not to be forgotten. Do you understand? The Signet yearns for sunstone strength to light the clouded way. Once in the palace, you'll find the Signet tile, very important. Give to it the sun's power, and it will light your path. Very well. Oh, a warning. Be aware that if you're caught, you'll spend the rest of your short life rotting in the Nalbina dungeons. So, look sharp, my boy. And don't go running off before you're ready. Plans freshly hatched have a habit of tumbling from the nest straight into the hunter's stew pot.
Such a shame. Too bad. Like, I've been streaming this for almost 3 hours. I would have... I'd be so far in the game if I was skipping cutscenes. They take up so much time. Oh!
Squads 3 through 6 are in place. They stand ready. So far, the Imperials haven't noticed a thing.
Then go now and hurry the others. By nightfall, we must ensure all our men are in place.
Sir. Sir.
Probably gonna make this tomorrow's stream game too, so I can actually progress beyond the cutscenes. I don't really know where I'm ending it today, though. But I do know I need to make my schedule tonight and post it, so... When did you go in first? I waited for you to come before opening it. Well, that's one of the reasons I waited. Thing is, I'm gonna need some special tools to open the door. Gonna need you to fetch them for me. I know, it's not the most exciting thing to do, is it? I'm just messing with you. Got everything I need ready to go. Hang on while I open it. Let's see. Yeah, that should do it, huh? Oof. It's open. Now we got a whole nother cellar, whole nother place to explore. Oh, and almost forgot. Take these with you before you go. No telling what's down there. Might come in handy. Garum Scythe Waterway. I'm gonna go this way first, I think. Indeed I do. So, here's the interesting thing about this place. In the original, the part of the sewer we're in is unreturnable. You cannot come back to it. Stupid rat. Can you waste an antidote, you piece of crap? It is unreturnable. You cannot come back here. However, in the remakes, this little destroyed staircase in this remake gets fixed much later in the game. So you can return here. This is good for one particular reason. There is a rare game here. Basically, an enemy that has a stronger enemy that has a particular chance of spawning. If you miss that rare game, in the original, you can never get it again. You can't return here to ever see it. You have to farm that rare game, here and now. However, I said you don't need to do that here. I plan to do it anyways, but I don't have to. I'm not wasting another antidote. Yo, a potion. Life and death. Let's go. You stupid rat. I think this might have been a change to the mod, because I don't remember these guys inflicting poison like this. Like in the base game. Well, eye drops. Great, that'll help me with the poison. I'm just running. I don't need to deal with these guys. Not gonna lie. There's nothing they do that interests me. This is the map the rare game spawns on, by the way. Now, unlike other rare games in the game, this rare game does not have a particular caveat to spawn. Some of them require you to meet certain requirements or situations. This one does not. This one simply is just a 40% chance to spawn. He can spawn in 2 different spots. Up at the front there, and in the back here. He is not here. Now, sadly, enemies require to go 2 zones away for them to respawn. So we will be going 2 maps away. I picked the wrong direction. However, this allows me to heal up at the save crystal, so I don't have to waste more potions. No, I don't need to save the game. There's chests, but there's no chests on this map that are worth farming for. Nothing in them that are useful. There it is. Can I lure that rat over? Razorfin is the rare game. You need to keep an eye on your health for this. This guy hurts. So with rare games, you only need to kill him once. Alright. Disengaged, and I'm done. Climb up the stairs. Now, this area you will never be able to return to. The palace cellar area is unreturnable to. But at the very least, you can return to fight this rare game. Nothing else matters in this area except that rare game. Because there's actual achievement. Like, PlayStation 2 didn't have achievements. There's actual achievements to completing the beastry. Alright. This is the next area. In the original game, in this cellar area, this room, you also could not open the chests in this room to have access to the Zodiac Spear. Thank God I can do that now. Elixir, that's a completely unnecessary item for this early in the game. It's way too powerful. Elixir's a full heal to both HP and MP. Completely unnecessary. Have you gathered up all of the occasionals? Good. You'll be on cleanup duty when the fate's over. Wait here until we're ready for you. No one goes to the upper floor until we give the order. Step out of line and you will be punished. Wait here until further directions for you. What's he doing? Trying to go upstairs. Trying to go upstairs, ain't you? I know. You're hungry. Don't blame you. An empty stomach make me want to crush the fate too. No use in trying to hide it. Look here, I'll help you out. Okay, so press square to call the guard. I'll handle him when he comes, and you make it for the stairs. I get too close and he's liable to notice you. Let's give her a try. Now's your chance. Get going. Now, in this next map, I will not be using the speed boost because it's very easy to screw up and get caught. What was it old Dallin said? The signet yearns for sunstone strength, the light the clouded way. But there was more. Oh yeah. Once in the palace, you'll find the signet tile. Give it the sun's power and it will light your path. Looks like I got a signet to find. Okay. So you basically got to
over here.
Do what the Seek just taught you. But if you get too close to any of the guards, you're automatically caught. And you have to restart. So running at 4 times speed is a very easy way for that to happen. Unless you're going in a straight line. You're just looking for the signet that matches the stone you have. That's it. It's the middle one. Now you need to get every single guard to the side I'm currently on. And you need to do top to bottom here.
Hey, Buckethead. Hello.
And by the way, it's not just these standing guards that can catch you. These guards here can also catch you. But they only catch you if you actually approach them. If you don't approach them, they don't do anything.
Hey, Buckethead.
Approach the wall. Well, that takes care of the secret passage. Now, where's this treasure? Watch, I guess I'm not leaving me much choice. You heard a mechanical click from behind. That's not... That clearly is a door. No way in hell is that a suspicious-looking wall. That's absolutely a door.
Huh? Oh,
Quite a performance.
who are you?
I play the leading man. Who else? Fran, the Magicite.
Now then, I'll take that.
No, you won't. I found it. It's mine.
And then when I take it from you, it'll be mine. Exit stage right.
The gods do not smile on us.
I like it better that way.
What's going on?
The Ifrit, eh? That's quite an entrance. Impeccable timing. If I didn't know better, I'd say they were waiting all along. Stop running! End of the line. You have something that belongs to me. Damn!
All this way!
Fran, let's move! Off with you.
Let go of me!
Keep this up and I will. What's going on, Fran?
I don't know, it's not heating me.
Don't have time for this.
I'm slipping!
Not good.
Well, that was a thing.
What happened? Our hover didn't just drop. It disappeared.
Ah, forget it. Even if we could fly, the Ifrit's playing with fire, and I'd rather not get burned. We'll go the old-fashioned way.
So the Ifrit is actually a summon in most Final Fantasy games that uses fire. obviously they reference a lot of stuff, but this game probably references it the least direct by just generally naming ships and stuff.
Deign to partner with a Hume.
Oh? Like a sky pirate that chooses to steal through the sewers.
Pirates? You're sky pirates? So you have an airship?
It's both here. Listen, thief, Vaughn, if you ever want to see your home again, you'll do exactly as I say. Myself, Fran, and you, we're working together now. Understood?
Don't even think you're getting this.
The thought never crossed my mind.
Vaughn, there's something I want to check before we set out. As a thought, you don't know much about gambits yet, do you? I don't know why you can't skip this tutorial, but you have to do it. Oh god. They added to it, though. Listen carefully. I don't care to repeat myself. For each gambit, you can combine one action with a target for that action. Example, you can arrange that Cure can be cast on an ally whose HP falls below 50%. Useful, that. Of course, one error of judgment, and you could find yourself throwing punches at that same ally. If you good head on your shoulders, it should come easily enough. I fear more detailed explanation is in order. No, it's not. This is the Gambit screen. You can reach it from the party menu. To create a Gambit, you need to only select an action and a target for that action. Here, let me show you. I'll start by changing the action of one of my Gambits. Now, whenever an ally gets hurt, I'll toss a potion his way. Charming, eh? Of course, that's a surefire way through our stock of potions. So let's adjust the target to make sure things don't get out of hand. Now, I'll only ever use potions when an ally's HP drops below 70%. That should be a little more bearable. Nothing to it, really. You can set a Gambit's action to more or less any ability you have at your disposal. Targets aren't so simple. You have to pick up new ones from Gambit shops. But that isn't all. You can also prioritize your Gambits. Allow me. The Gambit in the first slot always takes priority as it stands now. Even if an ally's HP starts to fall, should there be foes near, I'll only attack. For which I could rightly be criticized. In general, it's better to prioritize healing before attacking. Vitality before violence, if you'd like. Oh, another thing. You can turn Gambits off and on here. From the Gambit screen as well as from the battle menu. Of course, Gambits wouldn't do you much good if they're turned off. Still, discretion is often the better part of valor. If you need to beat a hasty retreat, try and turn Gambits off first. It's hard to fall back when your allies insist on picking a fight. Did I mention you can set up three Gambit sets for each member of the party? So this is the new feature. And like the Mont Blanc license board reset, this was patched into the game. Set a few to suit the situation or match your mood. Feel like cracking some skulls? Make a set. Rather indulge your magical fancy? Make a set for that too. You'll want to get comfortable with Gambits first, though. Once you feel it in your bones, you're ready. Well, that's long and short of it. I'll set my Gambits as they were before we started. Feel free to change them later if you'd like. We're like to come across new actions and targets, so don't be afraid to experiment with new Gambit combinations. But don't put all your faith in any one combination. With each passing day, the world finds new and exciting ways to kill a man. Be flexible. If you find yourself up against beasts that don't take well to fire, create a Gambit to cast fire on nearby foes. Likewise, Should we face a creature that uses poison, a gambit to cast poison on poisoned allies might just come in handy. Bit much to take in. Don't let it worry you. You're in good company. Yes, these sewers are thick with the bones of others who had similar difficulties. Let's be off then, shall we? Finally, I have gambits. I can finally actually play the game the way it was fully intended. So first things first, Balthier. Balthier is going to be running 2 different classes. As all of them are. I am going to run Monk. It'll be a nice class to start out with. You don't have to wait very long before you get your second class anyways, so it's not really too much to worry about. Fran is going to be running Black Mage. So Vaughn. Let me buy this. And then I'll buy the 1 Gambit slot I have here. Buy that for later. And I'm going to quickly pick up some Gambits here. So all those blank spots that seemed like the things were missing from the board, yeah, those are all Gambits. So, Black Mage is a little annoying because it has a lot of spells that you need to buy. Like, you have a lot to focus on really early game. Alright, so I've bought more Gambits, so now everyone has access to doing more things. So, Vaughn, you are going to any and 50%. You use a potion on an ally at 50%, and you'll use a Phoenix down on anyone. So any basically means that if it hits the requirement to use the item, it will use it. Which is why Balthier mentioned that you can burn through potions very easily. The requirement for using any on a... If you have ally any potion, the moment they take damage and a potion can be used, it will use a potion. Ally. Phoenix down. And any. I don't really need the other slot there. I could use it for like an antidote or whatever, but I really don't want to burn through those kind of stuff. I don't have a lot of them right now. So, nearest visible, it is going to be fire. So, Fran comes with Cure, regardless of whatever class you pick. So that's a nice boon, especially if you pick a magic class. So, Balthier is going to be very important with that first aid. So, first aid, as shown here, as shown there, is the first technique we will see that got changed with mods. Mods completely overhauled technique. The mod, Struggle for Freedom mod, completely overhauled techniques. So, what did first aid do prior? Well, if an ally was an HP critical, it healed a little bit of HP. Utterly useless. Absolutely garbage. Even in the beginning of the game, it's awful. It's worse later in the game because it doesn't scale. Now what does it do? Well, it just flat out heals 15%. So why is that good? Well, you're healing 15% health at the cost of no magic and no items. It's useless in combat, but out of combat, it can get everyone's health back up to 100% before you continue on. So, finally have the actual combat system now.
Insurgents. Most like they thought to take advantage of a lax watch at the palace while the fate's on. To feed the good consul a length of steel for his supper. I should think Vane used to such hospitality. Clever. He used himself as the bait to draw them near, and then sent in the air brigade. A fine bloody banquet. I dare say I've soiled my cuffs. If a dungeon's waiting for us at the end of the night, it had best have a change of wardrobe.
Alright, so we'll save. I'll probably go to the end of this dungeon and then call it for a night. Here's the map to the waterway. So this is where the game shines now. Why have I hyped up the gambit system? And why did I say the beginning of the game is slow? Well, B, you don't have gambits in the first place to begin with. And then when you even get them, you're stuck with the attack party leader target. Well, guess what? I have one hand on the controller. All I'm touching is the control stick. And look at that. This is why I love this game. It is a programmer's haven. The game plays itself. Now, I can still intervene. I can use any of these commands here as shown previously. But the key point is you want all the basic stuff to just be done automatically. And then you don't have to worry about anything. Like I said, the game plays itself. You could criticize the game for it, but it's, to me, it's super fun. Like, I've always considered programming a relatively fun thing. So the weapons that everyone has right now. So Fran's using magic, which is obviously magic against magic defense. But her weapon is a bow. And like Fawn's dagger, which I never went over, both use character strength and speed, or attack and speed or whatever, against the enemy defense. That's their damage category. So the weapons don't really get strong until late game. The weapons don't really get strong until late game when you can get an item that gives an incredible boost to speed. So Balthier, though. Balthier is using gun. So gun is notoriously the slowest weapon in the game. However, the nature of gun is that it does not... Oh, geez, that took forever. I really thought I was going to level more than this. Might take some points out of the bank for this stream. So Balthier is using the gun. So all ranged weapons, including even Fran's bow, come with an ammunition slot. This can change the element of the gun, add slightly different varying attack powers between like 1 and 5 depending on the weapon, and can also add status effects. The complete nature of the gun, though, is much different. So ranged weapons don't combo, they crit. So like you saw my dagger hitting 3 times on a single attack. Bows and guns will just, and crossbows as well, will just go ding and crit. There's another ranged weapon, hand bomb, but you won't be seeing that in the game because the mod completely scrapped it. Hand bomb is garbage, it's useless. It is absolutely not needed in this game. It got replaced with claws, knuckles, which are a fantastic weapon. I love them. So what gun does, though, is it uses the strength of the weapon and ammunition. So in this case, attack power 8 is exactly what it has, and that's it. It bypasses enemy defenses. It goes just straight, it bases it straight off of the attack power of the gun and ammunition, and that is it. The only thing is, though, that there are certain enemy types in the game that massively resist gun. It's not the greatest. And we are shortly going to encounter some of them.
Who would be next?
Close ranks, bring her down.
Jump down! Hurry!
She's not alone.
Our ranks grow by the hour.
And our troubles with them.
You alright?
Thank you.
I'm Vaughn. And this is Balthier, and hey! What's your name?
Amalia.
Amalia, huh? Nice to meet you.
There were others with me.
I'm sorry.
No.
Huh?
Oh, now isn't that impressive?
Don't get any ideas. I said it's mine.
I'm afraid the jury's still out on that one.
You stole that?
Yeah.
Like how proud he
Have you
is.
finished? When the guards don't report in, they'll come looking for us.
If they aren't already.
You should come with us. Better than being by yourself.
Very well.
What's wrong with her?
You have a lot to learn before we even get started on your thievery.
What's that mean?
Right, so I don't need Balthier to heal everyone up because I can go to the save crystal. Actually, I might actually call it right after the next scene.
The situation requires I accept such help as I find, though it be from thieves. I shall accompany you until we find my companions, no longer.
Let's think of her as a guest, then. Unlike Fran or myself, our guest probably won't be taking orders from anyone anytime soon, and she'll leave when she pleases. So we keep to our affairs and she to hers. I doubt we'll find her wanting in valor, being such an upstanding member of the insurgents.
Resistance. Well, what are we waiting for?
So there's an actual interesting... Guests can only use certain actions and abilities. So there's two interesting things about this. Number one, in the original game, guests could not level up. So whatever level the guest appeared in your party as, they were stuck at that level. Your party would level up and just start dwarfing them. They would never catch up. So some guest members would be with the party for quite a few levels, and they would just get useless as time went on. So they level up now. That is a Zodiac age change. However, there's a little bit of another thing. And unless you speculated this, you never would have actually guessed it. Because it's based off of something Balthier said that they carried over because it's part of the cutscene. She probably won't be taking orders anytime soon. That is wrong. In the Zodiac Age, you can now customize party members' gambits. Or guest members' gambits. You can order them and change them based off things they have. So you don't have access to a license or anything, but sometimes they have access to, say, like, techniques that you haven't purchased yourself. However, unlike in the original game, they now also siphon from your item pool. So if I have Ash use potions, she will be consuming my potions. In the original, they would use their own stock, which was infinite. There was a guest later on that was highly advised to keep for a while because he had infinite, very good quality potions. So that also got fixed too. So this is now the case with the party. So I'm gonna do the next scene and then I'm gonna leave. And the reason for that, or I'm gonna call the stream for tonight. And the reason for that is because I plan to do some grinding here. I like to have everyone level 10 before I fight the next boss, and I really don't want to just sit here for that long. So I'd like to carry that over to tomorrow's stream. So this is the enemy. It is weak to fire, which is why I want Fran to use fire, but it heavily resists gun. Gun is actually pretty powerful early game, but these guys take, like, sometimes almost no damage from gun. But it's made up for with the fact that Fran is using fire, so they are heavily weak to fire. And then the oil modifier definitely doesn't help them. Fran's like the only one actually doing decent damage. I think they have statuses that make them more 8 damage resistant when they're in HP critical. There's a ton of enemies that have traits like that. You'll like the next part. I think this is why it's another good spot to end things on. And the pose they take is heavily dependent on what weapon they have equipped. Though sometimes they do have poses like Vaughn's there that doesn't include his weapon at all. I mean, these two chests here are permanent chests. They're guaranteed to spawn, and they will never respawn. I'm just going to grab them. And then I'm going to go back to that last save crystal, save, and I'm going to call the stream for tonight. I'm going to make next week's schedule. All right, so 3 hours in. So why? All right, so that was fun. I'm glad I managed to get to the gambits. I'm telling you right now, the game feels horrendously slow until you get to gambits. The cutscenes themselves are bothersome, but every Final Fantasy game has that. To me, the gambits are the bread and butter of the game. It's the gameplay. It's how you do things. So having having to wait like basically 3 hours into the game to get the primary method of combat for the game, like to have full control over it, is a little annoying to me. But now we have it, and it'll only get better as the game goes on, as people learn new stuff and have more powers and stuff. So, oh, let me switch these, by the way. Yeah, so we'll see about that. With that said, I got exercise to do. I don't think I'm gonna pull from the bank today. Oh, you know what? I beat a boss. You know what? I'll count both of those as boss fights. Let's round it up to 10. So I will do 10 squats, and then I might as well do 10 sit-ups. Why not, right? Let's get exercise time up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright? Very simple today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. All good? All right. So with that, what did I turn off? Talking text. No, I turned off the exercise counter. Let's reset that. All right. So I think that's it for today's stream. So as always, my name is Daimien Kamiya. I'm the Omni King. I will see everyone, be they friend, foe, or a member of the Omni Council, later. Peace out, everyone. Bye.